Japan showed its true intention. The Yokai Parade in Kyoto's Kamikomi-no-Yo is too scary. If the dimension is too different from that of Halloween, we're talking about it overseas. Halloween in Japan is a different dimension. If you like, please register on the channel.
That's awesome. This seems more in the spirit of Halloween than superheroes and pins. Well, they do that a lot throughout the year, but they get serious about Halloween. Okay. So Japan is good to see almost any time of year, especially Halloween. Now this is how you Halloween. Well, that was terrifying. +1. Where in Japan is this? This is in Kyoto? And not on Halloween. It's called the Parade of 100 Demons. Fuck, even that sounds cool. The Night Parade of 100 Demons. Nurarihyon. You know there's legit ayakashi mononoke in there somewhere safely hidden, and they're loving this shit. Looks like a casting call for Studio Ghibli. Namahaj, Hi Otoko, Hanya, Fusion, Hot Oak, Oni Big Spread. Sure, they have all these creatures and spirits they can pull from their culture. We get characters from movies and video games. Getting some real Parade of 100 Demons vibes. Lived there for several years, and this made me feel like I was back. They don't play around. Yokai Parade? American Girl costumes are sluttier. USA.
Is Halloween crazy in Japan? I'm going to investigate the voice on the internet. Speaking of Halloween in Japan, it's been very popular these days at quite a number of events. To name a typical example, it's a cosplay in Tokyo Disney Resort, Universal Studios Japan, Shibuya, Ikebukuro, and Roppongi. That's where I thought it was. When did these events happen? Also, there was an online voice saying, "It's strange to play Halloween in Japan, so I'd like to introduce you to the content around it." Around when did Halloween start to become popular in Japan? It is said that Halloween culture came to Japan in the 1970s when Kaidan Harajuku started selling Halloween-related products. Kaidan Harajuku. And the first Halloween event in Japan was also held by Kaidan to promote sales on the Omotesando in Harajuku. The event, called the Hello Halloween Pumpkin Parade, was then more foreigners than Japanese. It seems that Halloween has started to become a topic of conversation in Japan because Tokyo Disneyland and Universal Studios Japan held Halloween events. Therefore, we will check the year of each event. Since when has the Halloween event been held in Tokyo Disneyland? This year, Halloween events are being held from September 11th to October 31st, and the parade and masquerade are all the rage. It is said that Halloween events at Tokyo Disney Resort starting in 1997. At that time, there were no parades, especially since the fancy-clad characters gathered in Toontown. And unlike now, it's only October 31st. It's amazing, isn't it? The parade started in 2001 and from 2003 it became possible to disguise itself as adults. And from September 12th to October 31st, 2005 the schedule for the event grew. You can see that Halloween gradually became famous in Japan. Next is Universal Studios Japan. And Universal Studios Japan. I heard that Halloween events were held at Universal Studios Japan in 2002. However, since Universal Studios Japan is an amusement park that sees Halloween as the best event on March 31st, 2001, it is no mistake to think that it has been there since the opening day. Then we will also look into the timing of the outbreak of Halloween's Shibuya. When did the cosplay event in Halloween, Shibuya, start to become popular? Speaking of Shibuya's Halloween event, it's an event where adults who have cosplayed before October 31st were gathered. Starting in 2016, more than 1 million people gather in Shibuya during Halloween, but when did it start to become popular? It was surprising. Personally, I thought it's from around 2013, but actually, there were people who had cosplayed around 2008.
That's probably the case. For those who know the meaning of masquerading as Halloween, Halloween in Japan feels like a cosplay parade. Originally, the purpose of masquerading in Halloween is to scare away evil spirits appearing on October 31st with scary masquerading. I think the majority of people don't understand that it's the day when their ancestors return. So you can say that they lack knowledge of Halloween culture. The situation is rather ridiculous when you don't know what you're celebrating Halloween by cosplaying around town for. Japanese Halloween seems to be strange to foreigners, and every year after Halloween various posts are posted on the SNS. The quality of Japanese masquerade is wonderful. Honestly, all opinions are satisfactory, but I hope you understand that not everyone is. Also, more than 50 years have passed since Halloween's culture came to Japan, but I think it is not impossible to change the direction from now on. I want to build a good Halloween that can be proud of other countries. Other overseas reactions are here. Good post. I have Hiragana times CIA. SNGT, thanks for your comment. When did Halloween settle in Japan? What's the reaction of the world and overseas? Halloween has become common in Japan without knowing anything, but when did it take root? Speaking of Halloween, it has now become a well-known event comparable to Christmas and New Year's, but when has it become so popular in Japan? 5 or 10 years? No, actually, I've been into Japan for a long time. This time, I would like to introduce you to the dad of Halloween's establishment in Japan and to the public and overseas reactions to Halloween in Japan. Did you? When did Halloween events begin around you? I remember that it was the first time I had attended a Halloween party at an English children's meeting about 20 years ago. At that time, we didn't have any news yet, but we didn't have any news broadcast in Shibuya or Shinsaibashi, so we had to decorate each house and hold a party. Now, as October 31st approaches, it's always covered in the news, and the number of Shigoi people are enjoying their masquerading on the street, right? A participant's appearance in Shibuya who enjoys masquerading. In the last few years, I have the impression that it has exploded into generalization, but in the 1970s it's said that the Omoka store called Kiddyland Harajuku started selling foreign Halloween products. The Kiddyland Harajuku store continued to expand its lineup of Halloween products, and in 1983 they held the Hello Halloween Pumpkin Parade on Harajuku's Omotesando. At that time, it seems that foreign participants were the main participants in Japan, but now it is a big event with more than 90% of Japanese participants, and more than 10,000 participants. 1970s Omotesando Parade. However, the promotion effects of Kidland are not the only ones that have been pushed up to national recognition events. It is said that holding Halloween events at Tokyo Disneyland in 1997 and Universal Studios Japan in 2002 helped Halloween spread throughout the country. These two theme parks still have a big Halloween event every year, and many people are looking for it. More than 50 years have passed since I came to Japan, but recently I've seen a lot of people making fun of Halloween culture, and it's also been pointed out that Halloween in Japan is strange. Honestly, I'm convinced that there are too many people who don't know the original meaning or origin of Halloween, and I feel that their manners are too bad. It may be fun for them to throw away trash on the street or make fun of themselves by occupying the street and making fun of it, but they are disgusted with the lack of manners of adults. Honestly, all opinions are satisfactory, but I hope you understand that not everyone is. Also, more than 50 years have passed since Halloween's culture came to Japan, but I think it is not impossible to change the direction from now on. I want to build a good Halloween that can be proud of other countries. Other overseas reactions are here. Japanese Halloween seems strange to foreigners, and there are a lot of comments even on various social networking sites such as Twitter. Foreigners' reaction. Americans not Halloween. Irish, it's completely different from Halloween in my country. Irish Halloween,